Welcome new subscribers, my name is Beals Flylord, and this is my news channel. I do news and commentary about VTubers and also general entertainment news media. I'll provide a list of timestamps in the corner below because there's a lot I want to talk about, and everyone is going to be clicking on this video for a wildly different reason, so I want to make sure everyone can skip to the part that they care about and not waste their time on a bunch of other fluff that they don't care about. So the first story I want to talk about today is the D&D Open Gaming License 1.1 news update. Now, anyone who gives a shit about D&D is probably already aware of this update and the drama it has caused. But for anyone who is not in the loop, to cram a extremely large amount of information into just a couple of sentences, basically, Dungeons & Dragons is owned by Wizards of the Coast, and Wizards of the Coast is owned by Hasbro, and Hasbro is putting pressure on Wizards to make D&D more profitable. And their solution to making the most popular and the most successful tabletop gaming system in the world more profitable, even though again it is already the most profitable in its field, their solution is to update their Open Gaming License. Now, for anyone who is not aware, the Open Gaming License allows individual creators to generate and monetize content and own that content, even though they're making that content off the copyrighted work that Wizards of the Coast created. So for 2 decades, people have been able to write books, write campaigns, make modules, make art, do whatever the fuck they wanted, so long as they abide by some pretty reasonable requirements within their Open Gaming License. This is no longer the case. And the sticking point that the majority of people are upset by, and the point that I am most upset by, is their point that Wizards of the Coast gets the right to use any content that licensees create, whether for commercial or non-commercial use. Meaning that literally anything anyone in the D&D community makes, regardless of whether or not it was made for the intent of making fat stacks of cash, they just fucking own it now. All of your work, which was previously fine, they can just steal. It's theirs. They will have a non-exclusive, perpetual, irrevocable, worldwide, sub-licensable, royalty-free license to use your content for any purpose. So anything you make, they can steal, they don't have to credit you, and they don't have to pay you. But if you make too much money off of D&D content, you owe them money. Even though they'll freely steal your content and not pay you, if you make too much money, you have to pay them. This is obviously shit for content creators who make D&D content. Nobody who makes D&D content is happy about this, least of all Kobold Press. And if you've never heard of them, Kobold Press is a publishing platform that allows user-generated content to be hosted on their website and sold for profit. Kobold Press also has writers who have written official D&D modules for Wizards of the Coast. They are directly linked to Wizards of the Coast in a very strong way. They use the talents in the Kobold Press staff to make their own content, and this platform exists almost solely to promote Dungeons & Dragons to fans and give people more content. Kobold Press, upon realizing that any of the content on their website could suddenly be stolen by Wizards of the Coast without payment and without credit, obviously this pissed off Kobold Press. So they decided to, quote, raise their flag. Raising our flag being, of course, a term used by pirates. And they are creating a project that they call codename Project Black Flag. They are going to take all of their 5e content, Dungeons & Dragons 5e content, and make it compatible with a new fantasy tabletop rule set so that they can keep all of that content under their original TTRPG, their original tabletop role-playing game system, so that Wizards of the Coast can't fucking steal it, because all of this content is going to be converted over to their system. It is going to be available, open, subscription-free, and available for people who love this system. So because of this, I would appreciate it if everyone who gives a shit about D&D to go support Kobold Press, find them on Twitter, find the website, and go ahead and support the development of their new tabletop role-playing community, because by taking their massive audience, genuinely massive audience, and ripping it away from Wizards of the Coast, that's a pretty big protest in my opinion. Wizards of the Coast has to notice this. By taking away Kobold Press's ability to monetize D&D content, they have created their own tabletop RPG, which directly creates competition for Wizards of the Coast. Or to put it in other words, strike me down and I will become more powerful than you could possibly imagine. The next thing that I would like to talk about is back on track with some of my usual content, which is VTuber news. VTuber Cringe, a popular Twitter news aggregator and commentator, has accumulated a truly massive amount of content, a truly massive amount of Discord screenshots documenting the activities KC446, but it looks like later they go by the name Chase, so that's what I'm going to refer to them as. So let me go ahead and highlight some of the things that they're accusing Pipkin Pippa and other members of Phase Connect of. For example, here he is accusing Pipkin Pippa of being a facilitator of neo-Nazi chuds. So yeah, that's pretty bold, calling Pipkin Pippa a Nazi sympathizer. That's pretty extreme. And when asked why this server seems to be dedicated to hating on Pipkin Pippa, Chase replies with, she's dating a groomer, she's bankrolling a groomer, he believes he's discovered Pipkin Pippa's real identity, found out who her boyfriend is, and thinks that her boyfriend has groomed a minor. Now, when somebody entered this Discord server and asked for proof, demanding that they post this proof in general, the community refused, insisting that they only send it in DMs. So whatever proof they have of Pippa's alternate identity and of their boyfriend being a groomer, they don't seem to be willing to post it. Also, random unrelated side note, apparently this dude also randomly posts bestiality hentai in his server. Not really relevant, just pointing out the type of person that Chase is. So if you really want to go through all of these screenshots and all of this evidence, you can certainly hit up the VTuber Cringe, the Twitter account, and go through all this garbage. I don't recommend it. It's basically like 80% slurs, 19% random garbage, and 1% relevant doxing and harassment. I genuinely think anyone who reads through this entire thread is gonna lose about 20 IQ points. I definitely suffered a loss of IQ going through all of this garbage. It's not worth your time. Now let's go ahead and talk about Merryweather Media. They got banned from Twitter for abuse and harassment. Let's take a look at these comments. I think there should be more physical violence in the VTuber community. Or, I will punch every VTuber. And apparently that's enough to ban Merry for over a week. It's very clearly just a joke. It's been over a week and they are still banned. This is ridiculous. The next thing I want to talk about is Twitter is going through some interesting changes. Number one, in February, the character limit is going from 280 characters to 4,000 next month. Now, a lot of people hate this change. People are basically going to be posting entire twit-longers in a single tweet, which a lot of people are annoyed by. But personally, I'm a very verbose person. I like to go on long-winded rants, so I'm happy. I totally understand the people who hate this change. I'm personally all for it. And the next thing that Twitter is doing is apparently working on offering the purchase of coins to buy in-app awards similar to Reddit. I have absolutely no idea why anyone would buy any of these coins. What could possibly be the benefit of buying a coin just to put a badge next to a tweet? That sounds completely pointless. I don't hate it. I just think it's pointless, but I'm definitely open to other opinions. I don't really know what to think about this one. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Now, because we covered a lot of heavy and negative stuff today, I want to end the video off on something a lot more amusing, and that is Josuiji's massive goddamn pectorals. Now, for anyone who is a fan of Hololive VTubers, I'm sure you're all aware of the new Tempest Boys. And I gotta say, there is a whole trend of just Josuiji's pectorals just being the focus, and I think it is hilarious. And I love how Ollie absolutely cannot handle it. I love this art. I love the memes. I'm loving everything about this. I think it's hilarious. Anyway, that's all I wanted to talk about. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Bye, guys!